Okay, so this is going to be a tough one, and I thought about it. Should I make this video? Should I not make this video? I think I need to make this video, and it might upset some of you and relieve others of you. I really have no idea, but let's do it. So I'm really thinking about leaving this platform, and the reason behind this statement is that it's affecting me in a way that doesn't sit well with me. If you have watched my videos in the past, you know that I'm a very flat out person. I say the things that I believe in, and I have expressed myself the way I thought it was necessary, because that's just how I was raised. Where I was raised, we addressed issues and we talked about things openly and honestly, and we criticized too. That's the environment where I came from. So now you guys know why things are the way they are. We're all different. If you take a look at Latin America, a region that I just left is a region that is not so good with criticism. It's like Asia to certain countries in Asia. In Latin America, criticism is not very welcome, and that's fine, but we're all different. But anyway, the reason for this video is that you've been seeing me make videos about a person. I've made videos about a person that I thought should be addressed on this platform, and I talked to my very close personal friend, and I told him I wish he would have never told me about that person, because that person we're talking about, you know who we're talking about, that person led to me creating this channel, or should I say retransforming this channel into the channel that it is today. I've been a full-time nomad since 2011. I started in 2010, and I've been traveling since very early in my life, like the age of 3, 4. I've always been traveling. I was fortunate to have been raised by parents that also love to travel and still love to travel, to be fair. And so that's how I got started. But the reason why I started this channel is because my friend told me about the experience I had with this, the experience that he had with this other YouTuber. And he's like, hey, make sure you don't get involved with this guy too much. I didn't even know the guy back then. And the reason, or how I learned about him, was because of my friend. That's how I learned about the guy. So when people say like, oh, you're targeting him for clicks and views, guys, I honestly don't benefit from this. I mean, yes, some people subscribe, but you know how many people unsubscribe? And do you know how many people leave bad comments? And do you know how many people stop watching my videos? Because maybe they liked my channel before, but since they saw how I spoke about him and still speak about him, it doesn't benefit me. I have no financial gain here. I don't benefit financially from these videos at all. And so I spoke to my attorney, and we had a meeting, and why would I keep paying these attorney fees to get consultation on things that can be avoided? Prevention is better than cure. And I also talked about this with some other friends of mine, and they're like, why do you keep doing this? Like, to help the community? To protect the community? They told me you got to protect yourself. And sometimes in life, maybe it's time to look more after yourself and not too much after other people. I mean, you can only serve people for so long. And at the end of the day, this is a business. This channel is a business just as much as anything is a business. And I don't benefit from this financially at all. I just don't benefit. If you think that I benefit from this, from targeting someone, using him in the title, I mean, so many people will stop watching my videos simply because I targeted him. Even though they liked me before, if they see that, oh, it's like, oh, this guy's a hater, or this guy's targeting these people to get views and clicks, it just does not make financial sense for me to continue doing that. And I think it's really important that we address this. If you have any issue with any YouTuber, I may not be able to help you in the future anymore, because I have to look after myself, and I have to reduce the negativity that I have in my life, and I don't want to deal with certain things anymore. I'm exhausted. I don't want to. I have done what I thought was right, what I should have done based on information I received from, again, a very close personal friend of mine who has done business with him. And that's it. I don't want to get any further involved because I'm tired. I'm exhausted. And neither do I want to get into like a civil lawsuit and spend, I don't know, tens of thousands of dollars or even $100,000 or more. For what? For what? So I can be right? I mean, I'm not benefiting from this, guys. So if you guys think I'm benefiting, no, I'm not benefiting from this one bit, not one bit. This is doing me more harm than good. This is doing my channel more harm than good. And this is doing my company more harm than good. There's no benefit in this for me whatsoever. If you guys think that, you just don't know how YouTube works. You don't know how audiences work, how people think, and how people change their mind once you tell them about somebody they really like. You know, you don't know about that if you really think that, because the results show me differently. But that's not why I got started with these videos. The reason why I got started, I'm repeating this again, is because a very personal friend of mine had an experience with this other YouTuber. He was a client of his and they worked together. That's how I got the information that I got. And that's why I shared the information. And then more and more people came to me and they were unwilling to go as far as I've gone, and that's perfectly fine. But with that being said, I will not be shooting any more videos, especially not on this particular person, because I don't want the negativity. I don't want the whole energy that's associated with it. I'm not scared of the lawsuit. Who cares about that, to be honest? I mean, we both lose. He loses, I loses. Everyone loses. Nobody wins here. Nobody wins here. And you know that this is the case when your attorney tells you that, because the only person who really wins in a civil lawsuit is an attorney. Is the only person who wins, because the attorney gets paid by the hour or gets paid a flat fee. And so you gotta pay, I gotta pay, nobody wins here. It's a lose-lose. The only person who wins is the attorney. Anyway, so I want to leave this aside and just take a look at my notes here. I am not going to edit this video because I don't want to, and hopefully you will understand that. Yeah, so another reason why I might be leaving this platform is because I don't need this platform. I don't need this platform. If you know my history, I've been doing marketing online since the age of 12, and I've always had a passion for it. I'm enjoying it. I love what I do. Some people say you don't have to love what you do, but you should not hate what you do either. I personally believe in enjoying what you're doing, in loving what you're doing. To have real love and purpose, there's nothing better than that. There's nothing, you don't have to like 100% love everything that you're doing. That's true too. You're not going to love accounting. I freaking hate accounting. I hate it. I hate it. In fact, I'm doing my taxes right now in Texas. I'm in Texas right now and I'm doing my taxes. Do you think I like that? Hell no. Hell no. That's the least favorite part of my business, but I have to do it. It's part of the business. And it's difficult to outsource certain parts because it's very sensitive information. It's difficult to outsource it. I don't need this platform because I can drive traffic through whatever traffic source I want. I'm very well connected in the digital marketing community. I have worked with some people for over 12 years. It's going to be 13 years soon with some of them. And I can work with them. You know, they have proprietary software. We can work with these people and we can build websites. We can build pages, rank them. We can do Facebook marketing. So I don't need YouTube. In fact, I love you guys. I appreciate it. I'm not talking to all of you who supported me, who liked my videos, who commented, who contributed very important, valuable information, who helped our community. I love all of you guys, and you guys are important to me. And some of you have gotten very close to me as well. Some of my clients, for instance, I mean, they just paid for one consultation, but we've become friends. We've been exchanging ideas for months and months and months, and I love that. So to me, like, it goes again back to the time when I was raised. I was raised in a way that my parents, my grandparents taught me to do the right thing. And sometimes in life there's a point where more money won't make a difference, but doing the right thing will make a difference. And that's how I was raised. That's what I believe in. I am not a greedy person. I'm not an arrogant person either. I'm a person who believes in doing the right thing, and one of those right things is protecting the community, but I can only do what I can do. I also have to look after myself, so you guys need to understand that, why I can't keep doing videos on certain topics and people, because I have to look after myself. Who is protecting me? Nobody's protecting me. And so I just wanted to make this clear. But yeah, I mean, I want to keep adding value to the community, and many people who follow us, they believe we add a lot of value, and I appreciate that. It might be time for me to just stop with it altogether. But it really depends on what you guys think. But from my point of view, from a business point of view, we don't need this platform. We just don't need this platform. This platform is maybe 20%. And so losing this platform does not make us lose more than we can gain from other platforms, especially for myself, knowing that the energy it takes. Because when you put up a website and you drive people to a website, you don't get all these conversations going, and you don't have to deal with other YouTubers. No, you control all of that. This is a public platform where you have limited control and where people contribute, which is great. It's a great platform. We love YouTube. It's a fantastic place to get access to free information. It's fantastic. It has helped me become more educated, and there are many great people on this platform, so I'm not saying anything bad about this platform. I'm just saying from a business point of view and from my point of view in terms of what I'm looking to do and what we are looking to do here. And it's becoming also more difficult to share certain information on this platform, and that's actually not a big reason. Censorship is becoming more prevalent on this platform, and it's the same with other platforms too. To be fair, it's not just this platform, it's other platforms too. And so we have to weigh the risk-reward ratio, the potential profit, because we're a business, so we got to weigh that. Yes, it's all about the people too. It's about the networking. It's about meeting great people. And I've met many great people since I started this channel. I've met people in person in different countries. Some of them are clients and some of them are not, which is fine. I appreciate all of you guys. I really do appreciate all of you guys, but you just have to understand that you only have so much time. You only have so much time, and you really have to think about what you want to do with your time. And it has gotten to a point to me where I just don't want to be connected to all this negativity anymore. I just don't want to. I don't have to. I don't want to. I have done my part. And so another point here, and you have seen this, we waited for a long time to promote programs. And my history. I've been in Asia for a long time. I've traveled to many Asian countries. I've lived there. I've had companies there. I still have very close personal friends in Asia. I love Asia, of course I do. I'm just not happy with how the countries have treated people there in recent years. I'm just not happy about that, so I am not going back there. I won't be endorsing countries in that region, and I have my reasons for that, and you can respect that or not. That's up to you. That's just how I look at it. I look at it in a way that, again, I'm all about consistency. And consistency in character, consistency in ethics. And if that is no longer present, then what the hell are we doing in this place? What the hell are we doing? If we're not appreciated, if we're not wanted, then what the hell are we doing in this place? But anyway, so I think, and that's actually another reason why it might be time to let go of this platform. I'm really thinking about it hard, is that I don't want to travel to developing countries as much anymore as I used to. And there's nothing wrong with these places. Some of these places are great, and the benefits you can explore, Jesus. There are advantages to living in developing countries that you will never have in Western countries. However, there's also a flip side, which many YouTubers in our industry, in this very same vertical, don't like to talk about. Healthcare. And anyway, I want to get to the point here. The point is that I just don't want to travel as much anymore to developing countries because it's just not what I want to do going forward. I'm in my mid-30s. I have traveled so much over the years. I'm tired of traveling. I can't be tired of traveling, right? You might be tired of traveling at some point, and I just want to be at a fixed place, and I have a home where I can go to, where I can live, and maybe it's time for that, And I think I want to be spending my time, I want to be splitting my time between Europe and the US, because I love these places. And you're like, oh, high taxes, this and that. Well, if you have ever had serious health issues in a developing country, you know what you're missing out on by leaving a Western country. Trust me. I know people who have left, like Mexico. I know people who had to leave Asia because they had such tremendous issues from a health perspective that they had to leave. Just now, a friend told me that, of course, that's for an elderly person, but still, she was hospitalized in a Latin country, and the doctors gave up on her. They were like, hey, we can't do anything more. She will die in that time frame. You know what she did? She brought her grandmother to the US. That's what she did. And she's still alive today. How's that possible? Well, the same quality in service does not exist everywhere. That's what I tell you. The same quality that you have in Europe. And look, Europe is not the best at everything. No, I'm not saying that, but Europe is the best at some things. as much as Mexico is the best at some things, at certain things, right? As much as Asia is best at certain things, as much as Eastern Europe is best, every country has its best and its worst. So yeah, that's definitely a big fact that I just don't want to travel as much to new places anymore. Another thing is the culture. You know, like I said, I just left Mexico and it's very difficult to assimilate even with people in Mexico. It was difficult for me to assimilate with people there. And the reason why it was difficult is because it's just different. You know, people grew up in a different environment, they have different habits, they had a different childhood, and that's fine. But I think at some point, and some people are like that, some people are, and that must be respected as well. At some point, you get tired of adjusting and changing so much, because why would you? You have spent all your life to become who you are, and now all of a sudden you want to change that. It's like once you have gotten over the initial excitement phase in a new place, there's less value there. That's just my experience. And I love living in a place that has a high standard, safety, good healthcare, clean environment, and you already don't have that in many developing countries. You just don't. People break into your house, the police does nothing about it, or it's dangerous, you know, maybe the police is corrupt, whatever it might be, and healthcare sucks because people didn't go to a proper school, or there is no legal system in place, weak rule of law that makes sure that people do the right thing. There's all these little details in developing countries that YouTubers never talk about. But I know about these things because I've been abroad for a very long time, you know, for most of my adulthood. So I know what I'm talking about. So nobody can tell me anything about living in any developing country unless the person has spent a lot more time than me, which is pretty difficult, So that's why I'm educating you guys about the realities. I'm revealing the realities of living in developing nations. And it's not all sunshines and unicorns. There's a lot of soul, there's a lot of disappointment, there's a lot of darkness. It's not all shiny. It's not all sweet, you know, like lemonade. It just isn't. Anyway, that's not a point. So, and then, yeah, it's just that, let me see on my notes here, what else? I think that's pretty much it. But yeah, like I said, I'm just looking to spend more time in places where I also have close personal friends and business partners and family, and that's important. And that happens to be North America and Europe. So that's where my family and relatives are located, and my business partners and my close personal friends, because many of them have left Asia since the pandemic and also before already. They made enough money, they moved back, they got married, they have kids, they sent their kids to a school in Europe, which is far better than a school in Asia. Again, you can really trust me about that because I know about that because they have gone for that. So, but anyway, that's so much to that. And so these are pretty much all the reasons why I want to leave YouTube. If you guys still want to follow me, it's pretty easy. We will continue doing email marketing campaigns, and it's just one form of traffic. We're doing web pages, we're doing mass pages, we're doing Facebook. So we can get traffic from all these platforms. So I'm not making this video now to tell you that you should leave, or, you know, our communication ends at this point. I'm not saying that, but you're welcome to subscribe. You're welcome to opt into our list. Just click on the link below the video if you want to. If not, no hard feelings, no problem. But I feel like it's time for me to let go. It's time to focus less on this platform. We are getting clients from this platform, so it's great, but it just isn't where I want to be concentrating my energy. And I don't want to be dealing with people that I believe are not ethical, that I believe don't deserve our attention. It's also about you guys. Those people don't deserve our attention. They just don't. And so it's maybe time to let go. And that's always sad because I've been using YouTube forever. You know, I've had many YouTube channels in the past. Some of them went down for the simple reason that they did an update. And back then, we're talking 10 years ago, 11, 12 years ago, the algorithm worked very differently. And it was very difficult to tell sometimes what was right from wrong. But nowadays on the internet, that's actually another point I wanted to add here before I'm going to wrap this up, is that there's so many scammers on the internet today, so many unethical people, also in our industry, a lot of unethical people that I just don't even want to look at. I don't want to see them, I don't want to look at them, I don't want to talk about them anymore because they're not worth my time. They just aren't. If they believe they can go out there and rip people off, do it. Do it. You know what? There's a thing called karma, and karma will get you. The amount of money that you have has nothing to do with how much you're worth as a person. In fact, I have met nicer people that were poor than rich people that were arrogant, and they just had one specialized skill. That's how people become rich, right? They spend all this time on developing one particular skill so that they can excel in one particular area. But when you take a look at their character, their ethics, their family life, their relationships, their friendships, their fitness, their health, everything, their balance, it sucks. They're below average at everything else, so they can excel at something like YouTube, or so that they can excel at something like nomadism, or whatever service they're selling, like citizenship services, residence programs, whatever they're doing. And that's not our goal here. Our goal is not to make the most amount of money possible. Our goal has always been to be transparent, to be honest, and to share what has worked, the pros, the cons, just real life experiences, without all the sugarcoating, without all the bullshit that any seasoned traveler can spot anyway. Like any seasoned traveler can spot this anyway. If you've been abroad and you listen to some people, you know what they're telling you is not true. You know, so the only people who fall for this are people who've never been abroad. You know, we're talking about people that are thinking to leave, but they've never ever stepped foot on any place, right? They have never done that. So to them, it's like, wow, this person is just giving the good stuff, because that's what people want to hear. If you tell people that, okay, this can happen and that can happen and it's not so positive, well, they don't want to hear that anymore. And so that's how we are different. And I've done a video, we've done a chat, I've had a chat with David Jaffe, really nice guy. And we talked about a lot of different topics. But anyway, that's what I'm thinking about that. So if this channel should disappear, please don't be disappointed. So it has to do with the fact that I just don't want to spend time thinking about people in our industry anymore. And when we have our website on Facebook, we don't need that. We don't need to do that. It's just less focused on communicating with other people. And that's what we're looking for. We're happy doing it. But if it gets to a point where when doing the right thing is no longer okay to do, and that's actually the point where we're at right now. Back in the days, in like the early 2000s on the internet, there were maybe 20% scammers and 80% legitimate people. Today, also in this industry, there's 80% scammers and 20% legitimate people. How do we know? Look at what they're charging. Look at what they're delivering. They're not legitimate. And so be very careful if somebody charges you 3 to 5 times or 10 times of what the service is worth. It tells you that they're arbitraging. It tells you a lot about them, about their level of greed and everything. So make sure you consider that. Anyway, I appreciate you listening in. I just took a look at my notes again. I think that's pretty much it. So I'm going to be wrapping this off. Again, I appreciate you. Don't be disappointed. And if you want to stay in touch, you can opt into our list. Just do it below if you want to do that. And we take it from there, I guess. If you have anything to add here, any suggestions, you're welcome to do that down below. And that's where I'm leaning towards. And please appreciate it and respect the decision, because it might be the best for everyone. And so that's what I'm thinking. Again, I appreciate you, and I'll talk to you in a bit.